Have you ever felt completely united with nature? I love nature. I need to be near nature. I feel called by nature. These are all things I've always said. And then ayahuasca showed me something, that I am not separate from her. I have never been separate from her. I am nature herself.
This is where the family, the caretakers, live, next to our property.
Sonarte!
Plant medicine has been used according to archaeological evidence as far back as mankind, and there's record of ayahuasca residue from a cave dating 1,000 years ago. The mystical thing about this plant is that she calls to you. I could even say that she finds you. She found me. Families who live like on site and then
On site. So it's Doña Arte and Don Choco. Yeah, there's going to be Marina, who's this like young girl. She has a 1-year-old kid called Nicole Andrea.
that's one name.
Nicole Andrea, yeah. I just call her Nicole.
Nicole Andrea. That's really pretty. It's gonna be hard to leave here, I feel like already. I taught yoga this morning for the first time. Today's like day 1. We arrived yesterday. I plan on filming, but I want to be really, really careful with how much I film and bring cameras around and about the timing of it, because a lot of people have traveled far to come here to find answers, to find healing, and I want to respect that space, and also for myself. So tonight I'm going to guide meditation before we go into the ceremony to create a space for 5.5 strangers. I say and a half because I met Teresa on the farm. She was a volunteer of ours a few weeks ago. And that's who I'm rooming with in here, which is really, really cool. I was nervous about the ceremony, but the closer it's getting to it, I'm really excited. I'm excited to experience the shaman that we have here as well. His name's Franz, and I've heard some really great things about him. And I've only experienced this particular plant ceremony one other time in February in Peru. So it'll be cool to do another one in a different country, even though Franz is actually from Peru. What is this life? So I came here with the intention to Pisatawa for a vacation, actually. Joke's on me. I had this connection here in Riberalta. My plan was actually to come here maybe even in 2020. I definitely, last time I planned on coming here was in April of this year, 2021. So I just needed like a change of perspective, like a break from the farm, a break from the volunteers. I knew I was coming here to volunteer. I signed up to come teach yoga, but then I knew I had the option to take part in the plant ceremonies that they host here, which involve ayahuasca and San Pedro. And I was coming here with more of the intention to just like chill. So I was like, I'm open to doing a ceremony. It sounds like a super safe, optimal place to do it, but I just wasn't sure. I thought maybe one time I would do ayahuasca here, and I ended up doing 4 ayahuasca ceremonies and 1 San Pedro ceremony in 10 days. So I never thought I would do all these ceremonies. When I heard how many there were, and they were every other day, I was just like, how is that even possible? Because my first ayahuasca experience was so powerful and visionary and overwhelming, but beautiful and also confusing. So to do that 4 times just didn't sound possible, but Mother Ayahuasca is a wise plant and maestra. She knows exactly what you need, and everything is a process. The first ceremony, I didn't feel a whole lot, so I thought. It was very gentle. I saw some pictures and visions that kind of made sense about all things being one. Second ceremony, it just hit me like a massive light bulb, an epiphany that everything in life is a process. So are these ayahuasca ceremonies. Like, nothing in these ceremonies is by chance. The plant is wise enough to know exactly what you need and when you need it. And I feel like in this life, it's the same way. When we have challenges that come our way, or opportunities, it's all a process to guide us to our most beautiful, authentic selves. There's nothing that we can't handle. The third ceremony, I had a full-on jiu-jitsu match with Pachamama. If you don't know who Pachamama is, she's abuela, Mother Earth, sweet, sweet abuelita. And, you know, I've heard about Pachamama traveling through South America, but in the third ceremony, we wrestled. She came on to me very intensely, and I had to tell her to slow down. She came too hard, and she listened to me. She also told me, this is what you wanted. You were ready, and here I am. So, you know, there's obviously a lot more that happened in these ceremonies. It would just take hours and hours, a whole book for me to write about the things I saw and happened and felt. But then the last ceremony, oh my God. I thought Pachamama was going to reveal something to me that she had told me about in the previous ceremony. She told me that my ego had to die and that it needs to be set aside for right now until the last ceremony. And in that last ceremony, it didn't happen. And she shared with me that the ego needing to die wasn't for me. It was for someone else in that room. Could have been for multiple people in that room. But a lot happened in that room that night. A lot that brought me anger and frustration because I was having such a beautiful ceremony that was interrupted. Really interrupted. In the middle of it, I was like, this ceremony is crap. Like, I'm gonna have to redo it. I'm gonna have to do the next ceremony. But then Pachamama came through, and I have never felt so powerful and one with all that exists, without fear, just love for every creature, element. It's really difficult to explain. But I felt like her herself. I felt like the caretaker. I became her. And I began to love on everyone that was in the ceremony with us. And hearing them vomit, I was just like, thank you, beautiful child, for your offering and your tears. You're so beautiful. Let me dance over you. And I danced over several people in the ceremony. So after the 4 ceremonies, I felt very complete with ayahuasca. Like, now it's time to take all this home with me and just try to wrap my head around it even more. Just let it happen, because you can't really try. But the last ceremony we did was San Pedro, which is much more external, where ayahuasca is all internal. You do ayahuasca in the complete dark. With San Pedro, or Wachuma, we walked through the jungle and hiked, like, I don't know how many of us, 12 of us, 11 of us, just acting like kids, with Franz, our shaman, our dear shaman, who's so patient, and probably one of the most, like, beautiful humans I've ever seen. He's so full of grace, very inspiring. So San Pedro for me was a little different than it was for everyone else. I didn't have a whole lot of emotions. It was just really chill, and it makes you feel connected to the trees and the birds, and everything is just grander, bigger, more colorful. You have so many visuals. I do. So I feel like this retreat was a lot of work. I came for vacation and to rest, and I feel like I haven't gotten that much time to rest. The rest I've had is a different kind of rest. It's the kind of, like, just absorbing the ceremonies and the plants. I've done a lot of fasting since I've been here, so I know I've lost a lot of weight. And I've done a lot of purging. I've cleansed. I feel so clean. We've been on a really special dieta, where we don't eat any salt, no lime, no onion, no garlic, no tamasic foods, nothing that's too pungent, no pepper. Very, very different. And that was a little bit of a challenge, but it really wasn't too bad. I fasted every day that I did ayahuasca after my second ceremony, I think, or the first one. I decided to fast the whole day, like not eat anything, and that made it more intense for me, as Franz, our shaman, shared that it would. I miss Misque so much. My home in Bolivia, and my boyfriend, and our dogs, and our cats, and our ducks, and our guinea pigs. And I'm just excited to take what I've learned and what's been exposed to me here with me. It's gonna be a really fun year. Thank you, Pisatawa, for holding space for me. And I'll be back here, no doubt.
Honestly, I think everybody should do something like this if they can. If there's something that you're working on, if there are questions that you have that you feel like you need answers to, I think that plant medicine should be more common and more accessible for people.
Working with plant medicine is not always easy journey. It is a quite breaking journey, but that's the beauty of it. In those hardship moments, you realize that what the medicine brought to your life is really what you needed, and that couldn't be more profound and beautiful gift, true blessing.
If she called, would you answer? But then again, if I am nature, did I call myself here? It is hot here. I'm in the volunteer apartment here in River Alta. I left Pisatahua yesterday, and I spent the night by myself, and my flight back to Misque is tomorrow.